We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014.
Time to bring the bass back.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why I do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Put both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big.
Well, it was a common sight in the 80s and 90s, not quite as frequent since, but it's back. Playoff football in the Bay Area here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. And this will be a touchback line.
Let's go. Look, 180! Check. They got tight left. Alone. Three down. One touch.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The 29-yard line. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it.
Gone. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
So certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
You draw portraits. Well. 37. Hey, pick it up, D. Hey, orbit. Hey, we're going 37 is the Mike. Mike 37.
Out of the gun. Gone. And the pressure gets to him again. Larry Ogunjobi providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Throwing on first down is Murray. James has got it. Complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Check right 54. Right 54. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. 28 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I think that's the dream start right there. The defense stands up on the opening drive, then they go right down the field and score.
It's a positive start for your offense and your defense. And when you're talking about playoff football, what a great way to get things going.
Everything is magnified and amped up a little bit more.
To put it mildly.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession and try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Kill. 65. Kill. Turn it up. Kill. Turn it up. Check three.
On 2nd down, a run with breathing. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Cut. 180. Bring it. 31's the mic. I got you. I'll go. 76.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And they give this time to the tailback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 41-yard line. '52's the mic, boys. 52.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to one remaining. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. Tried the hard count, but to no avail.
Trying to do anything to get them to jump off sides and pick up a first down easily. Instead, it goes against them.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Pull it together.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Watch the run, watch the run. Check. Win the rep, let's go right here.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray, he'll let this go for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down.
And 3 yards to go.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 15, 1st down Seahawks. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. And to give this time to the tailback. And a short gain down to about the 33.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here we go. Hey, go. Choose the mic. Watch the pass. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check 3.
Now it's Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Come on, 180. Let's go, we got this. Value 1. Check 24.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
It's 3rd down and 12.
The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd down and 12.
Check nickel.
A shotgun snap for gone. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this offense got to be loving this. After the long missed field goal, they'll take over on the other side of the 50, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. There he goes goes left side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. The point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter. But you don't want to. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
He's coming. 64, weak. 10's the mic. 10's the mic. God knows, ready. Watch out. Hard ball. Watch out.
2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship.
Go.
A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report in a bit. The coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. From the gun, here's gone. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Don't get nervous. Big ad.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
31's the mic. 31's the mic.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Goff completes it to the tight end Kittle. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
So don't say nothing.
A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down, here's Breida. And some room to work. Touchdown, 49ers. Matt Breida, 35 yards. And the first turnover on defense leads to 6 points. They go for just one here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at the 3.
The Seahawks take over first and 10.
Let's go,
At their own 18-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Let's go. Pittsburgh. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. Where'd he go?
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
Let's go, baby.
The false start backs him up 5, first and 15.
Watch safety green. Watch safety green.
From the gun, Murray. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Here we go. Switch, switch, switch.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Come on, set. Switch the outlaw. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is first and 10 at the 47. And again this time to the tailback. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now Murray throwing on second down. Flushed out right. And this will be incomplete.
So I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Go! Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54, Mike 54. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Screen. Watch the screen. Deuce. Right there, 54. 54 Mike. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home. Check 9.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. Able to find Harris, complete. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13.
And the Seahawks, first down.
Set, hut, check, check, watch 54, watch 54. I'll get him, get him, get him.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Get it, baby.
With the score, Seahawks 20, 49ers 10.
Ready, is it close? Mark 54. Put it to check, cover. Put it to check, cover. 50.
On 2nd and 9, Murray escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That one good for 21 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's gone. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
We go tonight, like 20. I got you, boy. Walk tight, walk tight.
A quick throw, here's Shepard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
The Niners on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Goff. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They were making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Let's go now. Choose the mic. Yeah, we don't want none.
They go play action here on 1st down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 18. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Super 66.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
31. Five. Let's go, Z. Tiger. Hey, let's get there. 31's the mic. Here I come.
On first and 10, Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Goff now to throw. Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And a great return here gets us one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Now a first down run is going nowhere. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of two. A loss of two there. Second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on second and 12. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about running them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Second and 10.
Throwing on second down. Murray. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. The Seahawks offense staying put out on the field. They're going to go for 2. They'll try and run it here. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney in there for a big one. That is sack number 200 for his career. It ties him with Bruce Smith for the all-time NFL record. They run with Breida. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Motion.
They go ahead and snap it. Gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, and that may do it for this NFC title game. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, little insult to injury here late in the game. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the kick is good, so you wonder how...